Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Blue Whale and welcome back to a Why Did I Lose? And today we're going to be playing Kha'Zix. So the runes you should run on Kha'Zix are these, and here are the masteries. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Okay, so here we are loading into the game, and before we even talk about loading into the game and all that stuff, first off, you might hear some music in a couple seconds. What we're listening to is the Abandoned Ship remix, but actually by Pokey Remix Studio, not by Glitch City, and there'll be a link in the description, of course. Also, if you notice in the intro, I didn't say these are the runes I ran. I said these are the runes that you're supposed to run. It's actually because I messed up this game and ran the wrong runes. But that really wasn't a factor as to why we lost. However, it just isn't optimal. The runes I had some CDR on them, but the build I was going to go, which is the build I showed in my Kha'Zix guide, if you haven't seen that, I get 40% CDR from that, so don't really need it on don't need it on my rune page. But what I could have done is taking my rune page gives me 10% CDR, so I could have taken. Alright, we're on blue team and no chat. Okay, so what I could have done is gone for warrior, the cooldown boots, and then black cleaver, and just left it at that. But I went with swiftness boots because that's what I prefer. But we're not going to talk too much about the build. If you want to know more about the build, go check out the Kha'Zix guide. I'll probably leave a link down below. Anyways, as far as team matchups, our top lane is Fiora and their top lane is Irelia. Irelia, really not that hard to gank. She has a dash, but she can only dash to enemy units, so unless if she pulls some magic thing, she's pretty easy to gank, to be honest. Mid lane, the enemy team actually had an Ezreal. Ezreal's not that hard to gank. He only has the one E, and the E's on a pretty long cooldown, so I could look to gank mid. Also, if Ahri hits a charm, then Ezreal definitely dies. And then finally, bot lane, they have Vayne and Thresh, and Vayne's pretty easy to gank, but Thresh is really good at saving carries, so just depends on if Morgana hits a snare. Basically none of the lanes are too hard to gank, but they're not super easy either. Easiest one would probably be top, but I can gank any lane. So here I am going to start at red, and we're going to go ahead and go double speed. Kha'Zix doesn't have any auto resets or anything like that. You start with your Q, get your W at level 2, and then get your E at level 3. But I started the red because I'm pretty sure the Kindred's going to invade me, because she already marked me, as you can see down here. And that's what Kindreds do in pretty much every game I play. They always want to invade. So knowing that, I'm going to just... I was going to try to do my Raptors. What I really should have done is just gone straight to Wolves and ignored her. But I wanted to see if I could scare her off. And sorry, we'll remove the FPS counter. Anyways, I wanted to see if I could scare her off and get her out of my jungle, because unfortunately that was her camp for her mark. So she got pretty much a free mark off of that. But my mid laner couldn't come. My mid laner did nothing wrong. She was just not in a position where she could come help me. So really I should have stitched her, went straight to Wolves instead of wasting time having to recall. But anyways, I go back. I didn't actually buy anything at all because I want to hurry up and get my smite item. I could have bought a Hunter's Potion, but I don't usually get Hunter's Potion in my games. It's not bad on Kha'Zix, I just don't get it. But yeah, so I go ahead and back, and then I have a lot slower clear than I would have liked, but that's just because I had to recall. But right now I'm not doing that bad. So I come top because, as we said, top was probably the easiest one to gank, and the Irelia goes full in on my Fiora. She uses her E, and she's just going to try to kill her. The Fiora gets a really good parry, and that way she's going to live, and then I'm just going to be able to come in and eventually kill the Irelia because she already ignited the Fiora. So good job to my top laner in that case. And I didn't already mention this. Well, as far as skills, max Q first, W second, E third, but evolve your E. At your first evolve point, you want to evolve your E. I kill the Scuttle because it's good for health. That's pretty much the time you want to kill Scuttle. When you need some health, you can kill it. While you're doing it, you'll heal, and then once you kill it, of course, you get a huge boost. And here, Kindred's ganking my mid laner. However, they do it really messy. Ahri outplays them. She's going to kill the Ezreal, and then I'm going to come in and kill the Kindred. So, as you can see, I'm having a pretty good game, and this was definitely a game that I felt like I could have won. but I just wasn't able to carry it, and these are the kind of games that I want to use for this series. So This was one of those games that leaves a sour taste in your mouth. You know, you did really well, but you just weren't able to win. And that's why we're going to talk about it, because I certainly didn't play perfectly. So anyways, I'm just jungling right now. One thing to note, you really want to get your second jungle item pretty soon because of the unique passives Tooth and Nail. Both Tooth and Nail give you plus 15 bonus experience, so you need both of them to get the plus 30. If you only have one, you're missing out on some experience. It's not that big a deal, but it does make a difference. So you do want to kill, or you do want to clear your jungle in sweeps. You guys remember what a sweep is? It's just, since I killed raptors, I wouldn't want to leave Kha'Zix up. I need to go kill them, so on and so forth. But now you want to hurry up and go back and get your jungle item. I see some people on certain champions, you want to go back and they'll get like 2 long swords and not get the second part of their jungle item. And you can do that, not on Kha'Zix, but I'm really talking about like Lee Sin does this. You could do that on a champion, but really I would at least get the other half of a smite item before starting to build long swords, because the other half is going to give you that other 15 and you'll be getting the plus 30 bonus experience. If you don't have both the halves, you're just missing out on levels and it's making your jungling less efficient than it would normally be. Here, Kindred was mid. I think our team kind of knew that. I come to mess with her. We get in a fight, but Ezreal's going to get there way before me, so I have to kind of play this safe. But I am going to be able to kill the Kindred because Ezreal missed his ult. Luckily I dodged it, and then I'm going to get out of here. Ezreal tried to come chase me, but there's no way I'm going to let him kill me. And then Irelia also came down. I smited the wolves. This is one of those cases where I saw Irelia missing, so I'm instantly going to go smite wolves because chances are she's coming to invade me. If I smite wolves, I'm going to see her, and then, you know, I'm not going to die. So anyways, also, while we're still talking about smites, you want to smite raptors, obviously, so you can gank easy, and then really wolves, probably, so you don't get invaded on Kha'Zix, or red buff. I smite red a lot on Kha'Zix because he doesn't have the best health sustain, but ideally just smite raptors. Those are the most important one. Anyways, as far as what I need to do in this game to win now, so I'm really far ahead. I'm 3-0. I can probably afford my jungle item when I back. What I can do is keep snowballing my Ahri. She's doing really well. And I need to visit bot. Top lane's doing fine. Oh, and if you actually noticed, you probably didn't notice this, but our Fiora didn't get to lane right on time at the beginning of the game. She's still doing really well now, but she came in late because she had some issues, and that's a long story. But anyways, lanes like that, you don't really want to camp. You want to gank, so they're not super behind, but you don't want to camp them. I can gank bot because my Lucian's doing fine. He's up in CS, but he's down a kill. You know, this is a pretty even lane, and if I get Lucian fed, and mid's already fed, Ahri's pretty fed, and I'm fed, there's really no reason we should lose. So I'm looking to gank bot. I wasn't sure if they had this warded or not, based on the way they're acting. I thought they did, but then Thresh goes all the way in, and Morgana hits a snare on the Vayne, and then with that, that's going to be enough for me to kill her. And as you saw with my evolved wings, I was able to go from the corner of this wall all the way down to here. You know, that's why I evolved wings first, for the mobility. If you think you don't do any damage when you evolve wings, one, you probably have something wrong in your build, but two, you can't evolve your Q first. It's not that big a deal, but it just sacrifices a lot of mobility. And if you get into like a small team fight early, the resets are going to make a huge difference in your impact at the team fight. So ideally, I definitely think wings is best, but I see people that evolve Q first in my solo queue that aren't me, so, you know, both work is all I'm going to say about it. So when you're against Kindred, you want to make sure that you clear her camps as much as you can, especially when you have advantage over her. So if I ever find Kindred in the jungle, I'm just going to kill her. So knowing that, I should be focusing on her camps, which I am, and then also trying to clear her jungle. Her red, I was pretty sure it was going to be up soon. You actually saw I jumped in just a second too late, so I'm going to be able to steal this. Free camp. You know, the game's looking pretty well. However, the downside is that Fiora's died twice, and Morgana's died twice, and our Lucian has died. So really, I'm doing well and Ahri's doing well, but the side lanes are struggling. So I come top because Irelia is pretty much a free kill. She might have gotten the Fiora there. She doesn't. Luckily, the Fiora played it really well, but if Irelia is this far pushed up and she didn't have flash, which Fiora told me she didn't have flash, it's pretty much a free kill. That's what I'm saying about Irelia. She's really easy to gank. However, I really need to, yeah, I catch Kindred at her Krugs, and I actually play it really poorly. But then, oh yeah, she face checks into me, so I kill her. But the reason that Kha'Zix is a good pick into Kindred is because of the way his ult works. and her ult works. So basically, Kha'Zix can obviously nuke Kindred pretty low. Maybe not one-shot her, but get her really low to where she's going to want to ult. And then, the reason that Kindred's ult is good, even though it keeps both parties alive, basically it's kind of like an equilibrium thing. So you get the Kindred really low, she ults, and then she gets you really low, and then she has a ton of mobility, so half of the time she's going to be able to get away. But Kha'Zix, if you jump in, get her low, and she ults, and you just ult, and you hide there invisible, avoid a lot of the damage. She's not going to be able to get you low to be able to outplay you at the end of it. And then, you know, you come out of it 3/4 life instead of the same health she is, and then it's a pretty easy kill after that. So that's why Kha'Zix is a really good pick into Kindred, and I did actually pick Kha'Zix for the Kindred, but up there I played it wrong. I don't know, I kind of panicked up there. We don't have to rewind it, especially since it was so long ago, but basically, just do what I just said. You know, that's how you properly do it. But now, I haven't really done anything in the past 2 minutes, so what I really needed to do was go bot. You saw I've ganked bot once, and actually worked out really well. We got a kill. And my bot lane's struggling right now, so all systems should point to bot. Also, another thing, so basically, how you win games from the jungle is you get a carry to carry you, and as the name might suggest, AD carries can always carry games, so you should never really ignore bot like I did in this game. You should always try to do something. And then here, I do actually play the fight correctly, if you saw. However, Irelia comes down, and I am going to die and give them a big shutdown. So that was completely my fault. I could have got out of that fight really easily once I saw Irelia was missing from top, but I just had bad map awareness. That was one of the really noticeable mistakes. Like, I've been making a mistake of not going bot this whole game. That's a really big issue, but one of the mistakes that's really easy to point out is what I just did, you know. I wasn't looking at the map when I got into the fight with Kindred, and if I had, I could have easily avoided dying, but thought I could kill the Kindred. And it was just a bad spot. If Irelia hadn't come, it was still right next to their mid turret, so somebody would have probably been there. So it was just a bad idea on my part. The enemy's doing the dragon. That's also another problem for me this game. I haven't been able to secure a single dragon, and the reason I haven't been able to secure a dragon is because my bot lane's behind, and the reason my bot lane's behind is because I haven't been down there. So, honestly, as for why did I lose, it's because I didn't get bot enough. But we can still focus on a lot of the more Kha'Zix things, because, you know, I played the game pretty well, except where I pressured the map. Other than that was my big mistake. And now you can see the bot lane's getting so far out of control, I'm probably not going to be able to even do anything down there. So now what I have to do to win is try to snowball top really far ahead, because mid's still doing really well. I just need to keep snowballing top and mid, and then hopefully with both of them really fed, we'll be able to transfer that lead over to bottom and deal with the enemy team. The enemy team does have triple AD carry, so, well, Ezreal went AP, but still, they have triple marksman champions. Really shouldn't be that hard for a Fiora and a Kha'Zix to deal with that, but when your team's this behind, your team's this behind. And then here, Irelia is trying to kill my Ahri. I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen. We almost get the Irelia, but she's going to flash out, and then I go checking for her. Pretty greedy on my part, but I did have my hop up, so I'm able to get out. But as you saw in the meantime, 2 turrets died bottom while I was up here. So honestly, I was hoping this would be a little more complex. I'll try to point out some other things I did wrong, but the main focus is that my top lane was doing fine, and my mid lane was doing fine, and my bot lane wasn't, and I was obscenely ahead. So in that scenario, when you have a really big lead, it's not hard to transfer it over to other lanes, so I should have been bot. But anyways, my runes also were messed up, and then also my item build, so I went full damage this game, and honestly, Warrior Enchantment obviously is good, and Youmuu's is obviously good, but then after that, I should have built Randuin's. Like, right now, I should be building a Randuin's, and then maybe a Banshee's Veil to deal with this Ezreal, because as you can see, Ezreal did pretty much my whole life bar and a few spells, and that's because my rune page didn't have any magic resist on it either, because it had the cooldown. So, once again, the rune page, the ROM rune page really messed me up this game, as you can see. But also my build. Like right now, I could have built Maw instead of Youmuu's. That probably would have been better. And then after that, go into a Deadman's or a Randuin's. That would have been a really good build. And I don't like building defensive items on Kha'Zix, as you know if you've seen the guide. But in a scenario like this, where my bot lane's just doing so bad, an enemy has a Vayne and a Kindred and an Ezreal, you know, it's... Even though buying a defensive item will make me do a little less damage, if I completely survive a fight, I'm all the better for it. And then here, we get into kind of a team fight. I don't think our Ahri was... Well, our Morgana was really low. Like, this team fight shouldn't have happened. but our Fiora goes in. She does catch out the Kindred, so it looks like she's going to be able to kill her, but Kindred gets off the ult. I don't jump in because once Kindred's ult's up, there's really no reason for me to jump in. I'm just going to jump in and take a bunch of damage. So I'm going to try to come in later afterwards. I'm going to, as soon as Kindred left ult, which she's gone right now, I'm going to try to leap onto her and kill her. However, Thresh flays Fiora. He had no idea I was about to leap, but it actually interrupts my leap. So then I'm not going to be able to kill the Kindred. And then here, the enemies aren't isolated at all, so I'm not going to be able to get another kill here either. I'm going to try to run away. I think the Vayne's going to... Yeah, she gets a crit on me, and she uses her Bork active. But I'm going to be able to get away. However, just a really unlucky team fight. So, half of that was my team was fighting while Morgana really couldn't enter the fight because she had no health. Morgana still has both her summoners up right now, as you can see. I don't know if she had them in the fight, but if she did, that's a really big issue. And two, I got outplayed by Thresh. I could have played it better by what I should have done is as soon as the fight started, go around here and then just flank, because my team was doing pretty well, and if I could have got some resets, we could have really turned that team fight around. But me running straight down the middle is just going to give them all the room to outplay me like Thresh did. So, long story short, what I really did wrong was the way I entered that team fight. I should have just flanked. I had enough time. I have Mobos. Your ult gives you movement speed. I evolved my leap. I got the mobility down. Just didn't choose to do it the right way. That's the thing about Kha'Zix. If your team can do damage in a team fight, there's no reason why you shouldn't flank. Because once they get someone really low, like that Kindred, I can just jump in, kill her, and then jump out if I have to, if it's dangerous. Or I can keep jumping around and keep getting kills. So no reason why I should run down the middle of my team in this scenario. Now, if your team can't do any damage and you need to do most of the damage, that's a different story. But my team still did pretty good damage this game. And here, my team almost kills the Kindred. She's going to get away with, like, no health. I'm going to kill her, and then Thresh is really low. I'm going to kill him, too. And as you can see, I was obscenely fed this game. You know, I have no problem killing a ton of the enemies. Or I just killed 3. I almost killed 3 by myself, just because I do so much damage. But, you know, maybe I played a little too passive this game, too. We could say that. Right now, what our team needs to do is get up wards everywhere. Because, like, this Vayne coming here by herself should have been a kill for me. So if we had a ward here, we would have seen her, or a ward here, or anything like that. And I do have the warrior trinket, and I do think my wards are the... That's one of my wards. Yeah. Yeah. So I have one of my wards down, but need to make sure I have both my wards down. I kept the red trinket this game because I was versus a Vayne. And even though red trinket doesn't reveal the target, it still shows you where they are, so you can't auto attack them, but you know where they are. They're not gonna be able to outplay you. And then the Vayne there, she tried her hardest to try to outplay me, but you know, I did too much damage. All I had to do was walk up and Q her. I had my ult and everything. I had my jump if I needed to, but I just walked up and Q'd her because that's all I had to do. No reason to waste my ult. But here, yeah, so now it's just looking like a pretty sad game, right? Enemy gets another dragon, and once again, this is a huge... We haven't even got a single dragon, so that's going to be cutting out a lot of my damage. Kindred gets cheeky with me, and she tries to fight me, so I'm going to go in and try to kill her. However, she gets the Thresh there, and then because of that Thresh, she wasn't isolated, and my Q didn't kill her, as you saw there at the end. That was the second. Obviously, both of my deaths were huge, huge mistakes that I made this game that are easy to point out. I didn't have a team to back me up. Fiora's top, you know, no one was here, and I just saw that they did the dragon. Chances are Kindred didn't do that on her own, so really jumping in there was just pretty irresponsible of me. But those are pretty obvious mistakes, you know, that's not what I'm trying to focus on in this series. I'm trying to focus on, you know, the correct mindset to win this game. And the correct mindset for me would have been to focus bot a lot more once your solo laners are doing well. Like, okay, so if you're only going even, you want to gank lanes that are doing well, because those are going to give you the most chance to scale up. But when you're as fed as I was this game, I was 7-1, and I was like 5-0 in lane phase. Then you can go to a losing lane, because obviously you're going to do so much work that it doesn't matter how bad they're doing, just because you're going to be able to carry the gank yourself. And here, the enemy team does Baron, but they go really aggro, and then they're going to die. And then here, Ahri gets too close to Irelia. Irelia kills her, and then Irelia kills me. And then I think we lose in the next minute. I'll go to 8 speed because I'm pretty sure they just push here and end. Oh, no, they don't. Okay, well, we'll tone it down some. But as you can see at the bottom, this game's about to end in a few seconds. So, oh yeah, alright, so I could have killed Kindred by myself, and I went mid to go kill her, and then my whole team followed me. Just some miscommunication. Either I should have stayed bot, or they should have stayed bot. But that's what happened, and the enemy's going to push here. I'm not going to die again, just to save my Kha'Zix KDA, but yeah, so why I lost this game, I had really good early game pressure, but then as you saw at about 14 minutes, I kind of didn't really do anything for a while there. And when you're as fed as I am, there's really no reason why you should not be able to do anything on the map. You know, there's always something to do, whether it was kill Kindred in her own jungle. I could have tried that some more. Secure a dragon. I wasn't able to secure a dragon. That also hurt my team a lot. And I didn't gank bot enough. I ganked bot once, but when every other lane's doing so well, or every other role's doing so well, you might as well go bot and help them. So that's it for this. I also think probably like one of the top 5 reasons I lost is because I took the wrong rune page too. It's really important that, because as you saw, Ezreal did so much of my life, I had to play scared around him, and if I had the right rune page, that wouldn't happen. So, long story short, make sure your runes and masteries are correct. They don't have to be, you don't have to take the armor pin on the runes like I showed in this video, but just make sure you have the magic resist blues instead of cooldown blues, because you don't really need them with the build that you're going to go. So anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Remember, the music's in the description below. If you want to follow me on Twitter, there's a link in the description below. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.